Go for his leg.
He said go for his legs? Okay, that is the dumbest thing to do. He actually took his hand off the trigger, off the pistol grip to charge it with his right hand rather than coming up underneath or rotating the gun and rocking it that way. Once your hand's on the pistol grip with the finger near the trigger, that hand does not leave. So if we're the good guy and we just shot down a multi-million-dollar asset and potentially killed some people, that doesn't look good on us. Hey everyone, my name is Geoff Reeves. I'm a Navy SEAL, and today on Experts React, we're gonna be checking out videos from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered.
Remember, no Russian.
Okay, so the dude's in an urban environment with a 60. Not my weapons of choice, but okay. Definitely more of like a rifle M4 kind of thing. So like our first person shooter again has his muzzle pointed right in the back of his buddies. That's fascinating that the guy with the saw just checked to see if he was racked when his bullets are right there. That dude is deaf, now cannot hear. They're just killing everybody. They're gonna question why you're not pulling the trigger. The best thing to do is to fire your weapon like in the general area, but honestly, try not to hit anybody. Let them do all the killing, not you actually do it. Otherwise, you could definitely be tried for it. If this were me, I'd be shooting the column. I would be shooting the seats, or if they're not looking, blasting my gun off to the side. Yeah, like right here, you could be like shooting the glass out of the elevator. If I saw somebody going down or already killed, maybe shoot around in their net, in their area. Really wasn't shooting anybody. Like these guys are professional. You're not pulling your gun if you're not acting like you're shooting somebody. They're gonna question who you are, what your intention is. I mean, this case is not unreal. In the mid-1970s, the PLO, Palestine Liberation Order, actually hired the Red Army from China to come in and kill a bunch of people at the baggage claim in Israel and Tel Aviv airport, which if you think about today, your biggest areas in which you're vulnerable at is check-in, when you're just meat poles standing in front of the checkout counter, and also when you're picking up your bags or baggage claim. So in any one of those areas, anybody can come in from outside and just start waxing people down. Example that I gave in the mid-1970s, these guys actually flew in, they had big duffel bags with them, the bags came through, but they got them, opened them up, and just start turning around and killing everybody, and then they were left to the security forces of Israel to respond from that. Big lesson learned. But if you heard an M60 go off, if you heard a squad automatic weapon go off, if you heard rifles going off and people screaming and dying, you get the hell out. Why would you be sitting there hanging out in your chair waiting for your plane to arrive? Find cover, find an exit out of there first of all, find concealment and cover to hide yourself or protect yourself from the bullets that are flying around, all the frag that's flying around, the glass that is shattering, the columns that are exploding. Or if you find yourself in that area, play dead. Just absolutely play dead, because you see that the terrorists in this game, that they're shooting anything that's moving, breathing, living. If there's a dead body next to you, pull it up over top of you and act like one of them. Yeah, you're in survival mode at this point.
Check your weapons and ammo.
So if we're the good guy and we just shot down a multi-million-dollar asset and potentially killed some people, that doesn't look good on us. And that's a hell of a shot, by the way, for some Kentucky windage to hit a helicopter like that with a grenade launcher attached to the bottom of our gun. That's horrible on the good guys to line up like ducks in a row for that. That's absolutely stupid. Blast radius of your grenade is 5 meters, and one grenade could take them all out like they did. That's actually interesting to be shooting 40 Mike in an area. Not that you couldn't, but there's a lot of things for it to bounce off of and come back at you. I mean, the police, they're using 9mm. They'll go pretty quick with the firepower that these guys have here, the automatic weapons. And they're getting like the barrage of fire, the force that's coming at them. They're not gonna last very long. And plus in a scenario like that, speed and returning fire is gonna be effective for you, not just holding up a shield trying to take rounds. Utilizing all the cover and concealment that you have at an airport, the trucks, the cement barriers, that's gonna do a lot more for you than a stupid shield will. Yeah, that was stupid to pull up a vehicle right there. I mean, of course everybody's gonna die. You should pull the vehicle off out of the area and then have the guys run in by using tactics, cover and concealment, utilizing the areas around them, the cement barriers and such like that, leapfrogging on the way up. Again, not the best idea to be standing in front of a door, even though it's metal and they're opening it up. You don't know who's on the backside, if we want our guys to live.
Hold your fire.
Wait a minute. So there's mass death and chaos at an airport, and the rescue team just doesn't even stop the ambulance, which everybody just when they wave, they come in right after, and that's a bit odd. They should stop the vehicle, search the vehicle, not just let it drive off into the sunset. They passed each other.
Positive ID. Whoever these guys are, they're not happy to see them.
Ghost, we have a situation here. Get down, get down!
So sitting in a car is the absolute horrible. You are a sitting duck. If there's something like that, you exit the car and get out. Your survivability is much better than being mobile.
We need him alive! Rotate! Coach, take the shot. Go for his leg.
You said go for his legs? Okay, that is the dumbest thing to do. To shoot for someone in the legs is very difficult to begin with. You shoot for the torso because it's the biggest surface area. There's more things that the body needs to function up top here. It doesn't move around as much as legs do. If you're trying to defend yourself, like out in the real world, and you draw your gun and you go to shoot somebody in the legs to hurt them and not kill them, you will go to jail for that. That is not allowed. In wartime like this, if you're trying to shoot somebody, you shoot them. You don't shoot them in the hand, shoot them in the legs, you shoot them. Just because you shot doesn't mean you're gonna die. It actually, you could, but at the same time, it slows them down, makes them less mobile in the gunfight, which is apparently what they wanna do. Like a headshot doesn't even mean you're gonna get killed. For example, look at Congressman Dan Crenshaw. He got shot in the face and he's still living. 50 Cent got shot 9 times, he's still living. If they want him alive, then that's a capture type mission, then you shouldn't be shooting at him to begin with. Like, don't go for the headshot, but to call out, hey, go for the legs, that's just ridiculous.
Remember, there are civilians in the favela. Watch your fire out there.
That's actually a good point. All that information would be discussed before you actually go on the mission of what is the objective. Now, this is an interesting scenario because I'm sure that place is like a maze, and to actually chase somebody into that maze is going to be very difficult. Definitely would not go alone. That's a good case for a grenade right there. He's in a box, can't go anywhere. You've had multiple guys on the roof right now. Why would you not put some guy up in Overwatch? Because they had to jump down into this area, put one guy up top, and if anybody pops up with a gun, he just takes them out. So, but to be dancing around inside this maze like this is not a good scenario for you. Put somebody in Overwatch, have him take out the guys on the roof, and you move through this as fast as you can. Now he finally is utilizing good cover concealment. He's kind of hanging open and getting pelted, as you can see. That's another thing between like gamers and actual real world. Just moving around left and right. Having movement does help you. If you're not shooting, you're moving, but it's a whole different thing when bullets can go through walls and such. A lot of gamers wouldn't be making their decisions that they would be in the real world. So it's interesting, he actually took his hand off the trigger, off the pistol grip to charge it with his right hand rather than coming up underneath or rotating the gun and rocking it that way. Once your hand's on the pistol grip with the finger near the trigger, that hand does not leave. Finally got a tree, he's got some dumpsters so you can use as cover, and he runs right out in the middle of it. I'm a huge dog lover myself, but in those particular cases, dogs are tools like used against you, and they're not fluffy. They're part of the bad guys, which is a shame. So one thing that you don't hear about is you think about the explosion from the grenade, but is the overpressurization that a grenade can cause, especially in an area like this with walls on it. And that's a real thing too. That can blow out your eardrums. It's funny, with rifles like this, in my time in the military, I only had my weapon, which had the ability of full auto. I only went twice going to full auto. Otherwise, it was always semi-auto on the weapon. Again, we don't have an endless supply in the real world. We got to make sure what we have, or utilize what we have effectively. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself with a K-bar in your hand at the end, or a SOG like we used to have at the very end. So we've been going between 3 and 4 different weapons. At most, I'd have my primary and a secondary. I don't have this whole gear bag of kit coming with me. So it's fascinating. Like right now would be great to actually incorporate into a game some TCCC. So if you did get hit, you'd have to put on a tourniquet, you'd have to put on some gauze or wound pack or stuff like that in order to keep your life, not just hide and all of a sudden have your life come back. That'd be an interesting part of the game. Because depending where you do get hit, that changes things. This reminds me of a Black Hawk Down scenario, which is just awful to be in. Whole cities after you. Now, depending upon the rounds that he has in that shotgun, you're that close to somebody and you pull the trigger, you're gonna blow a legit hole through them. If you have slugs, buckshot will even put a good chunk of a hole into somebody. So the optic that he has in this particular firearm is great for distance, but he leaves more like a red dot for this close range CQB type stuff. Unless he's hitting something several hundred meters out, but you can see by the terrain, there's not much distance that you're actually shooting from point to point B. We're in a hornet's nest of activity. And so now you have your HVT, your high value target that you finally got, and you're all exposed sitting in the middle of a courtyard on top of a car. This guy should be debriefed or asked information in the room with you and your buddy. Why do you need 2 riflemen pointed at the bad guy? They should be providing security looking out, because I'm sure there's more bad guys coming, rather than aiming at the guy that you're trying to question and go after. So they should be facing the other way and providing security, and definitely being taken into some kind of a room or something like that, where you actually have command and control ability. You've got some cover and concealment, not just hanging out in a courtyard like this on top of a junker. That was a lot of fun. checking out Call of Duty's No Russian and Favela here at Gamology. If you want to see more videos like this, go to Gamology's Facebook and YouTube channel. And if you want to see more of me, Geoff Reeves, go to my Instagram at @officialgeoffreeves. And if you want some cool kit like this, because you do some of the stuff for real, go check out shadowworksgroup.com. See you next time. Modern Warfare, okay. Called Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's all right. Just be running around in 360s and shooting every direction. That's a bad day. Okay, that is the dumbest thing to do. We're gonna be checking out videos